and welcome to Crimes Through Time, snapshots of crime history. Edith Smith was a true trailblazer in English law enforcement, becoming the first woman in UK history to have the full power of arrest. Born on the 21st of November 1876 in Oxton, Birkenhead, Edith was one of 6 children born to James and Harriet Smith. She started her own family in 1897 when she married William Smith, obviously no relation. They had 3 daughters and a son together. Edith worked as a sub-postmistress, but tragically in 1907 William would pass away. This is when Edith entered nursing. By 1911, the census showed her daughters in various homes and her son in an orphanage near Blackburn. She had moved to London to train as a midwife, taking a position as a matron at a nursing home. What caused her to completely uproot her life is unknown. Alongside her job from 1914, Edith worked with the Women's Police Volunteers, an organisation that would evolve into the Women's Police Service. On the 15th of December 1915, Edith was issued a warrant card by Grantham Borough Police, making her the first woman police constable in England to have the full power of arrest. Her appointment didn't come without any pushback. Chief Inspector of Constabulary Leonard Dunning wrote a Home Office memo stating that the Chief Constable of Grantham had, quote, apparently fallen into the hands of some strong ladies, and that the Chief Constable's senior police officer, Edith, is, quote, perhaps a better man than he is. Her role was to deal with cases involving women. Her wages, 28 shillings or £1.40 a week. Edith made it her mission to reduce the number of working girls that frequented the army base in Grantham. She was extremely effective. Just to give you an idea of Edith's impact and work ethic, in 1916 alone, Edith's service record read 100 wayward girls cautioned, 15 larceny cases of women and girls, 16 drunken women cautioned, 10 prostitutes proceeded against and convicted, 8 prostitutes placed in institutions, 10 prostitutes returned to their parents, 50 prostitutes cautioned, 2 disorderly houses proceeded against and convicted, 20 disorderly houses suspected and under observation, 5 affiliation cases assisted, 18 respectable girls assisted during their temporary stay in town and getting them back home, 1 fortune teller charged and convicted, 2 women charged and convicted under the Defence of the Realm Act, 5 respectable women helped following assault, 5 girls placed in institutions owing to unsuitable home surroundings, 24 illegitimate baby cases, 10 blacklists at the theatre and picture houses, 10 dirty homes reported to the Sanitary Authority or the RSPCC, 1 charged, 1 convicted, and 100 cases provided advice and help. Edith would say of her time on the beat in Grantham's red light district, quote, the appointment has made such a vast difference. The ladies have found it does not pay, and the frivolous girls have bowed down. Altogether, the Women's Police Service handled a total of 411 cases in 1916. Edith appeared to be so good at her work that the first report on her annual activities recorded that prostitutes from elsewhere in England had voluntarily left town because, quote, the policewoman was such a nuisance. By April 1917, Edith's wages had increased to £2.10 shillings or £2.50 a week. This was more than the longest serving male constables, due to her duties being classed as more onerous and taking into account her impact on the crime rates and acknowledging her qualifications as a nurse. Edith travelled the country giving talks at policing conferences and writing pamphlets about her experiences as a constable. At this time, the legitimacy of policewomen, especially during the First World War, depending on the individual's police force and the chief constables in charge. Edith worked hard to show the impact of the women constables could have in the community. She would retire from police service on the 4th of January 1918, with chest trouble. Edith had worked 7 days a week for the last 2 years. She would return to nursing, first as a matron at Lindis Nursing Home in Grantham, and in January 1919, before taking a role with the Nursing Association that would see Edith move back up north to Runcorn, Cheshire, which is where I live. But this post was not what it first appeared. The association was low on funds, a challenge that Edith met with high energy, organising fundraising efforts that would vastly improve the association's financial position. But Edith was a straight talker, a take charge sort of person, and personalities were beginning to clash. I wish I could tell you that there was a happy ending to Edith's life, a trailblazer with an amazing work ethic, but it was not so. On the 26th of June 1923, Edith was found dead at her home. She had taken an overdose of morphine. The coroner ruled that the cause of death was self-deletion, whilst in a state of temporary insanity. I know this sounds harsh, but it was a legal kindness. This verdict meant that she could have a Christian burial and her family receive insurance benefits and inheritance payouts. This is a quote from her obituary. She seemed to excel in everything she attempted. She would play a very vigorous game of tennis and won a billiard handicap in Runcorn. She was also a pianist and the possessor of a beautiful voice. At house parties, she showed accomplishment in all kinds of indoor games. She seemed to possess unlimited energy, and to add to her many interests, she recently obtained a knitting machine that she could make stockings from wool supplied by the villagers, making a small charge for the benefit of the Nursing Association. Edith's grave would remain unmarked until 2 policewomen launched a fundraising campaign to buy a headstone in 2018. She shares her resting place with her niece Marjorie, who died just 2 years old, 10 days after Edith's death. These are permanent plaques installed to celebrate the locations linked to historically significant people or events. In 2014, one was unveiled on the wall of the old prison building in Grantham, where she had worked as a policewoman. Deputy Chief Constable Heather Roach of Lincolnshire Police said, quote, "She spent time getting to know the people in her area and thoroughly understood the concept of neighbourhood policing." On the 16th of June 2018, Edith's granddaughter Margaret Smith unveiled a plaque on the 18 Palm Hill, Oxton, where she lived. On the 8th of March 2019, a blue plaque was erected at St Mary's Church Hall in Runcorn, at the site of the almshouses where Edith spent her last days. Grantham Museum has an exhibition celebrating Edith's role in the police force. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think of this video in the comments below. I look forward to welcoming you in the next one.